In 2002, deep in the remote mountains of Afghanistan, an elite US Special Forces unit encountered something that defies all logic and scientific understanding. Soldiers on a routine mission claimed they had faced an ancient, 13-foot-tall giant, a creature with red hair, 6 fingers on each hand, and wielding a massive spear. This story, known as the Giant of Kandahar, has since sparked countless debates, conspiracies, and mysteries. But what is the truth behind this encounter? Join us as we dive into the incredible tale of a giant that some say roams the mountains, exploring the soldiers' accounts, the myths surrounding giants, and the skeptics who challenge this astonishing narrative. Could this be a mere legend, or is there something much deeper lurking in the shadows of history? The early 2000s were a chaotic time for the US military. Following the tragic events of September 11, 2001, the United States launched a military operation in Afghanistan, aiming to dismantle the Taliban regime and hunt down Al-Qaeda operatives. This invasion thrust American soldiers into one of the most challenging terrains on Earth, where rugged mountains, vast deserts, and intricate cave systems created a treacherous landscape for combat. Kandahar, the historical heart of the Taliban's power, became the focus of several military operations. Its unforgiving terrain was notorious for hidden caves that provided shelter to insurgents. As military operations intensified, soldiers began to share stories of strange occurrences, unexplained disappearances and eerie sounds echoing through the mountains at night. These tales fueled local legends about supernatural beings, leading some to speculate about a connection to the giants of ancient mythology. The story begins in 2002 when a team of Special Forces operators was tasked with investigating the mysterious disappearance of another squad during a routine patrol. After months of searching for enemies in hostile territory, the Special Forces were sent into the depths of the mountains, where their GPS and communication equipment began to malfunction, creating an eerie sense of isolation. As they approached a cave, one soldier, whose identity has remained anonymous, reported an overwhelming feeling of dread. Suddenly, something enormous emerged from the shadows, a humanoid figure towering over them, measuring over 13 feet tall, with fiery red hair cascading down its back. Its eyes were described as glowing, and it held a spear that seemed to shimmer ominously in the dim light of the cave. Without warning, the giant charged, using its spear to impale one of the soldiers in a single, swift motion. Panic erupted among the soldiers as they fought for their lives, firing their weapons in a desperate attempt to subdue the creature. According to reports, it took an overwhelming amount of firepower to finally bring the giant down, and even then, it appeared impervious to many of the bullets. The body of the giant was said to be so massive that it required a helicopter to airlift it from the site. Eyewitnesses reported that the creature had an unsettling, almost otherworldly presence, as if it had emerged from the pages of a legend rather than a battlefield. But this is where the story takes a twist. What happened next is cloaked in mystery and speculation. While this story sounds incredible, it quickly took on a darker tone as some claim that it was immediately covered up by the US military. Allegedly, the giant's body was flown to a top-secret facility for analysis, and the soldiers involved were instructed to keep silent about what they had witnessed. Many of them reportedly faced threats of retribution if they ever spoke out. Rumors began to circulate when a soldier, known only as Mr. K, came forward to recount his harrowing experience. He detailed the encounter in several interviews with alternative media platforms, describing the giant with chilling precision. His testimony sparked a firestorm of interest, drawing in conspiracy theorists and enthusiasts of the supernatural alike. However, skepticism abounds. Many question whether Mr. K's claims are genuine or a product of wartime stress and the chaotic environment of the conflict. Could this story be an elaborate hoax, or was there something more to it? Despite the intrigue, the lack of physical evidence has led many to dismiss the encounter as mere folklore. Some skeptics argue that the military silence is typical of any sensitive operations, where secrecy is paramount for national security. They point to the psychological toll of combat, suggesting that soldiers under extreme stress may be prone to hallucinations or exaggerations. The story of giants is far from new. Across cultures and civilizations, from the Bible's Nephilim to the ancient Sumerians and Greek mythology, tales of enormous humanoid beings have captivated the human imagination for centuries. These stories often reflect humanity's fears and fascinations. What if giants were once part of our world? Some theorists suggest that the Kandahar Giant could be a descendant of the Nephilim, giant beings mentioned in the Bible, said to be the offspring of the sons of God and human woman. These giants were depicted as powerful and fearsome, a symbol of ancient times. Others speculate that it might be a cryptid, a creature that has eluded scientific scrutiny but exists in the shadows of our collective consciousness. The notion of a lost race of giants has been supported by various historical accounts from explorers and indigenous cultures, claiming that giant human skeletons have been discovered in remote areas around the globe. One such story involves the discovery of a giant skeleton in the 1800s in the United States, claimed to measure over 10 feet tall. While many of these claims have been debunked or remain unverified, they contribute to a rich tapestry of folklore that intertwines with the Kandahar Giant's story. These tales raise intriguing questions. Could ancient civilizations have coexisted with giants? What if the Kandahar Giant is not just a military encounter but a remnant of forgotten history? But despite the fantastical nature of the story, many experts argue against its validity. Skeptics point out the lack of hard evidence, no physical remains, no official reports, and no corroborating sources from mainstream military personnel. Military officials have neither confirmed nor denied the existence of such an encounter, fueling further speculation. Experts in anthropology and biology also argue that a creature that large would face severe biological challenges, such as sustaining itself with enough food and oxygen. Furthermore, the logistics of a 13-foot-tall humanoid existing undetected in one of the most surveilled regions of the world raises significant questions. Some scientists posit that the body structure required to support such height would not align with what we understand about human physiology. The prevailing scientific consensus is that while the idea of giants is captivating, it is rooted more in myth and folklore than in biological reality. So, what really happened in the mountains of Kandahar in 2002? Was it a misunderstood battle report, an exaggerated myth, or could there be some hidden truth to this incredible tale? Until we have concrete evidence, the Giant of Kandahar remains a mystery, a story that sits at the intersection of ancient mythology and modern warfare. Whether fact or fiction, it continues to captivate imaginations and challenge what we think we know about the world we live in. As our understanding of the world evolves, so too do our legends. The Kandahar Giant serves as a reminder of the power of storytelling, of how tales can blur the lines between history and myth. It prompts us to question the narratives we accept and inspires us to explore the unknown. Thank you for watching! What do you think? Is the Kandahar Giant just a myth, or could there be truth to the legend? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to stay updated with more mysterious stories from around the world.